How I Met Your Moms. The sun began to shine in the California sky, casting a warm glow over the palm trees that lined the streets scattered with cars. Sam Johnson stepped out of the taxi, astounded by the morning view. This place was really as good as he had heard. Stretching his legs, he took in the scenery. The summer had brought him from his home in Gainesville to the West Coast. He was excited to see his cousin Marcus, who attended UCLA on a football scholarship. After graduating last year, he wanted to play football too, but never was good enough to take it to the next level. Now he went to a community college and was on his first break. Thank God his cousin's parents had money, or else he'd still be trying to find something to do back home. Now he was here for a week, the first time he had ever been out of state. "Sam," Marcus called out, jogging toward him with a wide grin plastered across his face. "What up, boy?" Sam responded, and the two hugged. This was the first time since Marcus had graduated. "What up, boy?" Sam responded, and the two hugged since the first time Marcus had graduated the year prior. "Man, it's been too long," Marcus said, stepping back to take a good look at his cousin. "Look like you got even bigger." "Ha, you too," Sam replied, noting that it didn't take too long for his linebacker cousin to physically mature. "Man, they got us running two-a-days, but I can't complain. Come on, let's get your bags and catch up." As they walked toward Marcus's apartment, they reminisced about childhood summers spent together, playing football in the backyard and getting into mischief around the neighborhood. "Hey boy, remember when we was nigga knocking by your house?" Sam chuckled. "Hell yeah, we was dumb as hell," Marcus replied, shaking his head. "But that shit was funny though." "Hell yeah," Sam agreed. "Anyways," Marcus continued, "what's new with you? How life in Dade? Everything the same?" You know ain't shit changed," Sam shrugged. "Just working and going to school, trying to make something out of myself." "Oh, where you work at?" "Just the Kroger's round the corner. It's easy." "You still playing football?" "Nah, I ain't even want to try out." "Why not? You was a pretty good back." "Just 'cause, I gotta help mama out with the house and everything. Can't have a job and play football too." "Damn, bruh. Well, what you going to school for?" "Remember I told you something about wanting to do video games?" "Oh yeah, you said you wanted to be a designer or something." "Yeah, like make video games. They say I don't need to be in school for a long time, but I need to get like a bachelor's just to have the basics." "Oh, that's what's up. You was always smart, bruh. Appreciate it. So what's life like out here, bruh?" "Look, fire. Like every girl out here fine in this mug." It's a whole new world, bruh," Marcus said, his eyes lighting up. "The parties, the girls, the games. Boy, I got so much shit to show you. I promise you gonna love it." "Bet, boy, I can't wait." Later that day, after Sam had got settled, the sun blazed overhead, casting shimmering heat waves across Venice Beach. He squinted against the glare, feeling sand grip between his toes as he followed Marcus toward one of the many groups at the basketball court. "Hey, these my homeboys, Eric, Dougie, and Jake," Marcus introduced. "Hey y'all, this is my cousin Sam. He grew up with me in Gainesville." "Hey, nice to meet you, man." Eric approached, dapping Sam up. Eric was even bigger than Marcus, which makes sense since he was a projected first-round defensive lineman. As a matter of fact, when they shook hands, you could barely see Sam's. "Welcome to Cali," Dougie chimed in, his black dreadlocks flowing as he gave the newcomer a fist bump. Dougie was sweaty, having just finished the game. He played six-man for the school's basketball team and loved playing in Venice even more. "What's up, bruh?" Jake, the school's backup quarterback, nodded. Jake was more reserved than most, though he did like to have fun. "Hey, check it out." Dougie snapped his head around and whispered to Sam, nudging his arm. He motioned toward a group of 4 women sunbathing nearby. As soon as he looked, Sam was already in love with the place. These women looked like models, and not just any models. OnlyFans models. "Let's go say hey," Sam suggested. "Come on," Marcus agreed, smiling as the group approached the women. "What up, I'm Marcus. Hope we not disturbing y'all. This is my cousin Sam and our friends Eric, Dougie, and Jake," he said. Hey there, Alicia responded, her sunglasses shimmering in the light. She sat up, brushing sand off her petite figure. Nice to meet you guys, Nina added, her brown hair cascading over her sun-kissed shoulders. She crossed her thick thighs, shyly meeting Sam's gaze. Oh, hey, Carla chimed in, her bright green fingernails garnering attention. She stretched out her tattooed legs before sitting up. Hi, Tiffany waved lastly, her brown eyes looking over the group of newcomers. So mind if we join y'all? Marcus asked, gesturing to the open space on the sand beside them. Sure, why not? Alicia shrugged. As they settled down on the warm sand, Sam exchanged glances with Marcus, who wore an expression that seemed to say, Told you so. The two groups hit it off as the sun blazed overhead, casting a golden glow on the sand and surf. Sam watched Tiffany out of the corner of his eye, noting her perfect nails, golden bracelet, and brand new iPhone beside her. It's so hot, Tiffany complained, fanning herself with a magazine. I wish I'd taken my convertible today. Convertible? Dougie asked, raising an eyebrow. Yep, my dad bought a brand new BMW Z4 for my birthday, she bragged, smirking. It's amazing, totally. You should see the leather seats. Must be nice, Sam thought. Alright, how about we exchange numbers and maybe hang out later tonight? Carla suggested. Why, what y'all doing? Marcus asked. Well, I know Alicia wanted to go to the hookah lounge for her birthday, she answered. Just not Tara, Tiffany interrupted. Way too many dusty-ass dudes there. Like, how are you going to try to talk to me and you don't even have a car, she joked, making Carla nearly spit out her hidden mojito. I'm down, y'all, Marcus asked his group, to which all nodded yes. Sounds cool, Alicia chimed in. Bet, Marcus said, pulling out his phone. Great, we'll hit up this hookah lounge around 9, Nina said, after they all exchanged numbers. Sounds good, Jake added, clapping his hands together. The groups left the beach together and went their separate ways. Sam went back with Marcus to his dorm after making plans to meet with the other guys back at Jake's apartment after getting ready. Once arriving, Sam shut the door and grabbed a beer from the fridge. Whew, Marcus yelled before lying on the couch. Them hoes was fine as hell, boy. Ain't nothing like back in Florida. Yeah, but that girl Tiffany seemed bougie as hell, Sam replied, shaking his head. Yeah, she was stuck up, Marcus agreed, opening the fridge and grabbing another beer. But hey, at least you got Alicia's number. True, Sam admitted, cracking open the beer and taking a long swig. She seemed cool. After watching the basketball game, the cousins showered and changed before heading over to Jake's apartment to meet the others. Damn, what took y'all niggas so long? Dougie called out and smiled as Sam and Marcus entered the house. Boy, you ain't see the game? Giannis went for like 50, Marcus replied, clapping Dougie on the back. Yeah, we was watching it, Eric said, handing Sam and Marcus a cup of Patron. One of those cups you have at parties. They're called solo cups, but nobody really knows that. Anyways, now let's get this party started, Eric continued, turning up the music. The apartment Jake's parents rented for him was huge, bigger than the house actually. They sat in the living room watching TV and talking about how much they couldn't wait to meet back up with the girls. So what's the plan for the night? Dougie, who was already more tipsy than the others, asked during a brief pause in Madden. Hookah lounge, remember? Marcus replied, leaning back in his seat. We meeting those girls from the beach though. Oh yeah, cool, Dougie said, nodding. Think they with it? Shoot, I hope so, Jake answered. Hold up now, Eric chimed in, looking at the group. I call dibs on Carla. That's who I want. Shoot, I call dibs on whoever want me, Dougie laughed. Sam leaned back in his seat, excited about seeing Alicia again. Alright, let's roll, Jake said, grabbing his keys. The warm night air greeted them as they piled into his spacious SUV. He seemed more of a fit for Tiffany than anyone, Sam thought. They pre-gamed all the way to the hookah lounge, Dougie almost spilling his Four Loko in the car several times over. Upon arriving, the scent of flavored smoke greeted them. along with loud voices trying to communicate through the yet louder music. They found themselves a cozy corner spot despite the crowded area. Soon, they were sinking into plush cushions and ordering drinks. "Man, this place is chill," Eric commented, taking in the cloudy room adorned with exotic tapestries. "Yeah, it's straight, but where Carla and her friends at?" Dougie asked. "They said 9, but it's already 9:15. "Hold on, let me text them," Marcus began, pulling out his phone. But before he could, as if on cue, Tiffany, Alicia, Nina, and Carla entered the lounge. The girls smiled and waved, making their way over. "Sorry we took so long," Nina said. "Tiffany was taking forever to get ready. Had us going to the mall and everything." "Nah, it's all good. Was about to text you. We just glad y'all came," Marcus replied, scooting over to make room for her. "Did you see SDSU's last game?" Nina asked, her eyes sparkling. "Yeah, I can't believe the coach came in drunk," Marcus replied, grinning. "Right? No wonder they're 0-10, she said, high-fiving him. Meanwhile, Carla and Eric discussed their latest backpacking trip through Europe. "Seriously? You hiked all the way up there?" he asked, eyes wide. "Yep," Carla replied, flipping her hair over one shoulder. "It was so peaceful." "Sounds dope," he said, leaning in. "Did you see any shows while you were there?" "Yeah, I saw A$AP Rocky in Berlin," she remembered. "Berlin?" Sam interjected. "I always wanted to go to Europe. All y'all been there?" he asked, focusing on Alicia. "Yes, I love it," Alicia enthused, turning her attention toward him. "The art alone is worth the trip, especially the street art." "Street art? That sound dope," Sam said. "One of my friends used to do graffiti, but he got locked up." "For graffiti?" she asked. "Nah, robbery." Oh, wow," she said, eyes wide. "Nah, I'm just playing," Sam said, smiling, except he wasn't. "Oh, I was like, what?" Alicia laughed. "Nah, but any other cool places I should check out?" he asked, trying to steer the conversation back to her. "Definitely Prague. The buildings are just like, damn." "I prefer Santorini," Tiffany added. "The best sunsets ever. You been?" Not yet," he stammered. "But it's on my bucket list, though," he laughed, looking toward Marcus, who was smiling from ear to ear. "Really? I would have thought you were more of a domestic kind of guy," she responded. "Hey, everybody can't have rich parents," Sam shot back. Excuse me?" Tiffany asked as she leaned forward. Anyway," Alicia interjected, "you should totally go someday, Sam. You wouldn't regret it. The girls would go crazy for you." "Oh yeah? Why you say that?" he asked. "'Cause you know you fine," she leaned in and whispered, causing him to smile. The two continued their side conversation while Tiffany's watchful eye remained lingering on Sam. Maybe I should apologize, he thought. "Apologize for what?" Marcus texted his cousin while still at the table. "She'd a stuck up one. If anything, she should be apologizing to you." Around 11, Sam and Alicia's groups decided they weren't quite ready to separate yet and headed over to 808's, a hip-hop club in Orange County. "That place is so ghetto," Tiffany objected while at the car. "Why do you want to even go there?" "Because everybody wants to go there, girl. And it's fun. Don't worry, you don't have to talk to nobody." "Ugh," Tiffany sighed before hopping in the back seat with the others. "And they're coming too? That Sam boy getting on my nerves talking about rich parents. Like, nigga, you don't even know me." "But your daddy is rich, girl," Nina laughed. "So? He didn't know that. He assumed that." The neon lights of 808's pulsed in the night, casting an electric glow over the entire shopping complex it set. The bass seemed to vibrate through the ground and into the soles of Sam's shoes after exiting the car. "Man, this place gonna be lit," Dougie said, clapping Jake on the back. "Already," Jake agreed. The group of young men approached the entrance, standing in a line of no less than 20 people. Sam had never seen so many beautiful women in person in his life. "They said they was meeting us here, but you know they probably gonna stay home," Eric joked. "Nah, they already inside," Marcus smiled. Finally, they were near the door and walked toward the bouncers. IDs, a huge bald Mexican guy with tattoos covering his face demanded, his massive arms folded across his chest. One by one, they presented their identification and were patted down until it was Jake's turn. Here you go, Jake said, pulling out his own. The bouncer raised an eyebrow, bringing it closer to his face. Yeah, nah, we don't allow fake IDs, he said. Wait, what? Jake stammered. It's not. Come on, bruh, Marcus interjected, looking up to the bouncer. We just came to have a good time. He won't even drink nothing. Can't we just pay you or something? I mean, we play at UCLA. I wouldn't care if you played for LA. Rules are rules. You can go in, but he's staying out. Well, can I at least have my ID back? Jake asked. Nope, gotta keep it, he replied, face hollow. Damn, Jake said before turning to his group. Sorry, man. Meet you back at your place? Dougie asked, clapping his shoulder. For sure, he replied, before taking an Uber back home as his friends went inside. Damn, that's fucked up, but here we go, Dougie shouted as they scanned the packed dance floor for the girls. Over there, Marcus yelled, pointing to Nina and her friends dancing in a corner, drinks in hand. The group shuffled through the crowd towards them, bumping into several patrons. What's up? Sam called out, sliding up next to Alicia. She smiled, her eyes sparkling. Thought you'd never make it, she teased, taking a sip of her cocktail. Can you dance? Yeah, can you? Boy, come on out here, she said, turning around and grinding her body up against him. Bet, he replied before he began moving to the rhythm. With every drop of the bass, Alicia pushed her ass against him. Up and down, circles. She was doing the most. Can you get pregnant on the dance floor? He wondered while holding onto her hips for dear life, trying to maintain balance. Suddenly, he began to feel self-conscious as her own movements caused his body to naturally react. He knew she could feel it when she looked back and grinned, before sticking her tongue out and going even harder. This didn't help the situation as his uncertainty turned into complete lust. A few songs later, Alicia left with Nina and the others to go to the girls' room. Sam leaned against the wall, catching his breath as the bass belonging to the nearby speaker vibrated his body. He was feeling good, partially because he was almost 100% sure that he would get some that night. This place was truly lit. It was by far the best club he had ever gone to and was grateful that he had just turned 21 the month before. Yo, Marcus, Dougie yelled over the music. This place crazy. Eric just did a backflip on the dance floor. Hell nah, he responded. Yo, what's up with your friend? Sam asked Alicia, motioning over to Tiffany. Tiffany stood aside from the others, leaning against the wall, occasionally looking up from her phone to see the chaos she seemed so annoyed by taking place right in front of her. Oh, she just broke up with her boyfriend. I think that's why she not really vibing, but she cool, Alicia replied. Damn, Sam said, shaking his head. Maybe she can go back to the car and keep Jake company, Marcus joked, more focused on Nina. Sam looked back over and noticed a new expression on Tiffany's face, a confused look as he turned his head in her gaze's direction. Hey, yo, Sam said, tapping Marcus on the shoulder. Bro, what the fuck? Is that? Hell nah, Marcus yelled, pointing toward a security guard hoisting Dougie's limp body over his shoulder and turning to take him toward the exit. Move, he ordered, pushing his way through the crowd before finally catching up with the guard. Hey, what's up, bruh? Sam asked, accompanying his cousin. I'll tell you when we get outside, the guard relayed, leading the way through the crowd, many of whom were now watching. Finally outside, he set Dougie, who was completely passed out but luckily still breathing, gently on the ground. By now, both Marcus's and Nina's group were outside crowding around. Your buddy had a little bit too much to drink, the guard explained gruffly. Manager says he can't come back in tonight. Damn. Alright, thanks, Marcus said, worry etched across his face. He turned to the others and said, Hey, let's just put him in the car and roll the windows a little bit. We can take turns checking on him. Bet, they agreed before placing Dougie, who was now snoring, in the back seat. They re-entered the club and immediately resumed their roles on the dance floor. The music blared as the people jumped up and down to the beat. Sam and Alicia continued to dance as she got more and more tipsy and wild, which he didn't mind at all. Nina kissed Marcus as they leaned against the bar, nearly knocking over another customer's glass. Carla, despite vaguely mentioning her boyfriend earlier, torqued against Eric's hips to the point he had to hold onto a beam. She held up another shot of tequila before downing it and resuming her original position as Eric smiled more than he had all day. Tiffany, who had just turned down a third Patron for a dance, sat at a nearby table, consumed by her phone. What a buzzkill, Sam thought after looking over. It wasn't long before nearing 2 a.m. Last call, the bartender announced, signaling the end of a wild night. Sam's eyes flickered between Alicia and the dance floor, their bodies still swaying to the fading music. Time to go, Marcus said, lightly slapping Sam on the back. Already? Nina pouted, her voice laced with disappointment. Yep, Carla chimed in, adding a wink. But we can always continue this party somewhere else, she smirked. Sounds good to me, Nina slurred. Finally, Tiffany stated, already heading toward the exit. The two groups merged, chattering as they made their way behind the throng of people toward the exit. The security guards followed closely behind, ensuring everyone's swift departure. As the cool night air hit Sam's face, he felt a strange mixture of exhaustion and exhilaration. This was the most fun he'd had in his entire life, the highlight being Alicia basically made love to him on the dance floor. Glancing over at Tiffany, though, he noticed despite her attitude, she was stunning. The neon lights of the club blurred in the rearview mirror as Marcus navigated his way through the sea of people spilling out into the night. Alright, y'all, he called. We'll meet back at Jake's place for the after party. Shotgun, Sam hollered, sprinting toward the sleek sedan parked at the curb after Marcus hopped in the driver's seat. Dougie barely moved, still sprawled out in the back seat. Because of this, Eric rode with the girls back, making out with Carla the entire drive as they followed Marcus on the highway. As they neared Jake's house, anticipation buzzed throughout the convoy. Jake unlocked the front door, revealing a cozy living room that soon hummed with activity after he broke out more alcohol from his cabinet. Despite not getting in the club, he was high in spirits, having had his own solitary party at home while playing Call of Duty and drinking his mix of cranberry and vodka. Alright, so who wants what? Jake asked, after turning off the game and up the music, revealing an assortment of liquor bottles. I got rum, vodka, tequila. Tequila, Nina chimed in, raising her hand. Dougie, ignoring everybody, just went to the nearest couch and resumed his sleep, uninterested in whatever was happening around him. Where's Alicia? Sam thought, before quickly noticing she too was nodding off. You good? He asked, placing a hand on the small of her back. Oh yeah, she slurred, just trying to hold it together. All of that twerking had taken a toll on her, and her breath reeked of alcohol. Want some gum? Sam asked, pulling out a fresh stick. Sure, she agreed before excusing herself to the bathroom, not even giving him a chance to give it to her. While she was gone, Sam resumed congregating with the others in the living room. The bass thumped, pulsating through the room like a heartbeat. Bodies swayed and feet tapped, the music drawing them in like moths to a flame. Jake, I never knew you had such good taste in music, Carla exclaimed, bobbing her head to the beat. Ha, I got my moments, Jake replied, shooting a wink in her direction. Night, Dougie, Nina called out, raising her glass in a mock salute. He was motionless besides the raises in his chest that let the others know he was still alive. How he slept through all the noise, Sam had no idea. They laughed and continued the party before Sam raised his own glass and yelled, "Cheers!" The group clinked their glasses together again, laughter bubbling through the room like champagne. Here's to a good night, Marcus added, grinning as he had one arm around Nina. Definitely one for the books, Carla agreed, downing yet another. Hey Tiff, you okay? Nina asked, noticing their friend's lack of engagement. Yeah, Tiffany forced a smile onto her face. Just a bit tired, I guess. I know you're not still tripping on that dude. Tiffany looked at her and shook her head. No, girl. You remember I said I have to be to work in the morning to open? Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I just don't want to be too tired when we get back, you know? Definitely can't keep up with you guys drinking. Damn, I almost forgot about that, Nina said. Come on, join the fun, Eric urged, playfully nudging her arm. Tiffany took a deep inhale before getting up and saying, Okay, I can have one more drink, but then we gotta go. And make it light, please. Eric smiled before retrieving a White Claw from the fridge and handing it to Tiffany, who seemed pleased. Minutes passed and they seemed to be having fun, even Tiffany, before Nina slowly stumbled down from upstairs. I don't think Alicia's going to be able to take us home tonight, she said with a smirk and hazy eyes. The others looked at her in confusion before Nina clarified, hanging on to Marcus for dear life. She was passed out on the toilet. What? Tiffany asked, standing up. Carla slapped her forehead with her palm to the news. So that's where she went, Sam whispered to himself. Oh, don't worry, Nina continued. I put her on the bed in the, I think, guest room. Who's going to drive us home? Tiffany asked. Oh, don't worry, if you need to crash here, you can, Jake assured them. Great, Carla yelled. Turn up the music. What? Tiffany again asked, still standing. Hey, Marcus, Nina whispered, pulling him away from the group, her fingers brushing his forearm. Want to find somewhere a little quieter? Marcus grinned, leaned in, and whispered something that made her giggle. Hope you didn't drink too much, she smiled. Nope, just enough, he laughed. Well, then lead the way, she continued, offering her hand. He took it without hesitation, and she led him to guide her. Tiffany watched them disappear down a dimly lit hallway as her body tensed up. What in the actual fuck? How am I going to get home, she wondered. Meanwhile, while Jake and Sam spoke, Carla and Eric explored. Man, Jake got a pretty nice place, he observed, scanning the room. That's what I was thinking, Carla agreed. She twirled a strand of hair around her finger, a hint of a smile playing on her lips. Hey, I think I saw a balcony outside, he suggested, raising his eyebrows. Want to check it out? I'd absolutely love to, she replied, her voice barely audible over the music. They exchanged a look, their gazes lingering just a moment longer than usual. The pair reached the glass doors leading to the balcony. Carla stepped out first, inhaling the cool night air as Eric followed closely behind. Wow, she breathed, resting her elbows on the railing and gazing out at the city lights below. This view is amazing. So are you, Eric murmured, closing the distance between them. His hand brushed against hers on the railing, sending a shiver down her spine. Smooth talker, Carla teased, turning to face him, and their eyes met. If it's true, is it still smooth? He asked. She leaned in, their lips meeting in a slow, languid kiss. Oh shit, should we go back? Carla asked, pulling back, her voice shaky. Do you want to? Eric asked, his hand finding hers once more. No. Hell no, she responded, her smile widening. Their fingers laced together and they kissed like it was their wedding day. Alright, bro, Jake declared, setting his empty glass on the counter. I'ma head up to my room. Tired as fuck. Sounds good, Sam said, dapping him up. Y'all need anything? Blankets, pillows, whatever? Jake asked both Sam and Tiffany. She looked up from her phone saying, besides a ride, no thank you. What about your other friends? He asked. They can't take you back? Last I checked, our driver is asleep upstairs and the other two are fucking your friends. Oh, he began, looking down before looking back up and asking, well, what about an Uber or something? Already tried, she said, exhaling and throwing her hands up in the air. No one wants to make that trip this late. Damn, well, I mean, I would, but you can spend the night too. It's all good. No, you don't understand, she interrupted. I've got to get to work in the morning. Oh, I mean, I would drive if I could, but I had way too much to drink. Oh, no, I understand. It's not on you, she assured him. Well, okay, let me know if you need anything else, he repeated before stumbling up to his room. I cannot fucking believe this, she said. There is no way I can call off. Wish I never came, she continued to herself while looking for more options on her phone in vain. A few minutes later, while Tiffany was in the bathroom, Alicia slowly descended down the stairs. Despite how disheveled she looked, she was still, in Sam's words, fine as fuck. "Oh wow, you still up?" she asked, approaching him. "Yeah, I'm surprised you are," Sam joked. "Don't tease me," she smiled. "Look, I'm sorry I passed out. You seem really cool though. Maybe we can do something tomorrow?" "Yeah, no worries. Just get some sleep," he assured her. Alicia glided her hand across the back of his head before saying goodnight and meandering back upstairs. Present day. 9 years later. The sun dipped low in the sky, casting warm hues of orange and pink across the horizon as Sam drove along the winding road. The hum of the car engine filled the air, accompanied by the faint sound of a sports radio station discussing the latest game. In the passenger seat, Aaron fidgeted with the laces of his high-top sneakers, fresh sweat still beading on his forehead from the match. "That's crazy, Dad," Aaron said. "So is that how you met Mom? Was she the girl that went to sleep early? The other one sounds lame." Sam grinned and replied, "Well, you gotta let me finish. Anyways, good game today, son," he said, glancing at Aaron with pride. "Looking like Iverson out there." "Thanks, Dad," Aaron replied, flashing a grin that mirrored his own. He leaned back in his seat, stretching out his long legs as much as the cramped space would allow. "I learned from the best." Sam couldn't help but smile. They sat silent for a few moments, but the curiosity that had been brewing in Aaron's mind finally bubbled to the surface. "Hey, Dad," Aaron asked, his voice hesitant but eager. "Who was it?" "Okay," Sam took a deep inhale and said, "Alright, so," he continued as his mind went back. Tiffany came back from the restroom, as frustrated as she had been. Both she and Sam looked toward the stairs as they heard someone else coming down. "Damn, y'all still up?" Marcus asked, approaching them with Nina closely behind, grinning. "Yeah, you?" Sam replied, smirking, which made Marcus smile, although he tried to hide it. "Oh, thank God, girl," Tiffany perked up and said. "Do you have the keys? You know I gotta get to work in the morning. Can you take me back?" "Girl, I wish. I am too tired and drunk," Nina said, facing them as Marcus held her from behind. Tiffany sucked her teeth. "We just came down here to get some water," Marcus said, slapping his cousin on the shoulder. "Then it's back to round 2, he muttered. Nina widened her eyes, smiling, and slapped him on the arm. "What's up? You gotta go back right now? Marcus asked Tiffany. "Yes, for the 5th time I gotta go to work." "I mean, Sam, you wanna drive it back? Take my shit." "I don't even know the way," he responded. "Use the GPS, nigga. You'll figure it out. Unless you too tired, I mean, it's up to you." Sam said, looking at Nina, who now looked as if she was willing him to say yes. "I mean, yeah, I can, I guess." Despite how rude and bougie she seemed earlier, he took pity on her. Besides, he wasn't that tired or drunk and kind of wanted to explore by himself. He'd never been to Carlsbad, and even though it was about 4 in the morning and would be over an hour drive just to get there, he looked at it as kind of an adventure. Hopefully, he wouldn't be too tired to drive right back, he thought. "Bet, don't crash my shit," Marcus half joked before throwing him the keys and basically skipping back upstairs with Nina. "Thank you so much," Tiffany jumped up, hugging him. This was the most affection/interest she had shown anyone the entire day he'd known her. Maybe this wouldn't be so bad after all. They pulled from Jake's house and made their way to the 5 South. The silence in the car was thick, almost suffocating. Sam could feel the tension twisting and coiling between them like a heavy rope. He gripped the steering wheel tighter, searching for words to fill the void as Tiffany remained on her phone. I mean, it's nice out here, nice night out here, he finally said, his voice cracking slightly. Tiffany looked out the window, the city lights reflecting in her eyes. "Yeah, the stars are out." Sam cleared his throat, unsure of how to proceed. The radio was off, leaving only the sound of the engine purring beneath them. He glanced at Tiffany, who was busy fidgeting with a loose thread on her dress. Just then, Sam got a text message. It was from Alicia and read, "Hey, just woke up. Found my phone, LOL." Heard you took our friend home. I just wanted to say that I appreciate you so much, smiley face. Promise I'll make it up to you, winky face. Sam smiled and re-expanded the GPS before putting his phone down. You really shouldn't be texting and driving, especially with me in the car, Tiffany looked at him and said. Look, Sam began, breaking through the awkwardness. I know we don't really know each other, but you seem pretty cool, even though we didn't get off on the best foot. Thanks, Tiffany replied, turning her head back to face the road. She shifted in her seat, as if uncomfortable with the compliment. Your friends seem cool too, he continued. Most of the time, she corrected, minus tonight. Aw, don't hold it against them. They just got a little too lit. I'm sure they ain't mean no harm. Nah, they're good. I just know now not to depend on them to take me back if we go out, she scoffed. He hesitated for a moment, then asked, So what do you do for fun in, Carlsbad, is it? Yeah, well, she started, caught off guard by his question. I mean, I like to surf sometimes and hike, and I love to do yoga. Really? Sam raised an eyebrow. When did you start that? Yoga? Back in middle school. My sister's an instructor. It's just really good for my mental health. Now, hot yoga, that's another story, Tiffany laughed. It's definitely a challenge. Yeah, I heard about that. I'd be in there with a water bottle, Sam chuckled. That's what's up, though. Thanks, she smiled. So what about you? What, do I do yoga? No, she laughed. What do you do when you're not chauffeuring people around? Oh, yeah, well, I like to box, play basketball, kick it with some of my friends. Used to play football in high school, Sam answered. I just started at a college and hopefully I can get in the program next year. Oh, that's really cool. What are you going to school for? Business. What made you want to get into that? Well, I figure if I don't make it into football, at least I can start a business or something. I work too, helping my uncle with construction when I can. Wow, that's a lot. It is what it is. Have you ever been out here to Carlsbad before? She asked. Nah, I ain't never really left Miami besides here. Dade County all the way. Really? Tiffany's voice softened with curiosity. Why not? Couldn't really afford it. Oh, my bad. Nah, it's all good, he smiled. That's why I'm in school now. What about you? Where all you been at? Oh God, so many places. Brazil, Versailles, London, China. On my first trip, my parents took me to Europe when I was about 6. At least that's the first one I remember. We went sightseeing, visited museums. It was amazing. But there is something special about beach vacations. For sure, Sam nodded. I gotta get on that. You should. When you graduate and all. Yeah, it's on my bucket list, like I said. Did you have any hobbies growing up? I used to play piano, she admitted. But I stopped after high school. Life just got too busy. Is it your first or second year at school? Oh, third. Oh, so you're already like 21. No, graduated about 2 years early. Damn, so you smart as hell. Thank you, she smiled. I just tend to overstudy. That's why I've been feeling so burnt out. Well, that and the breakup. Oh shit, my bad. No, don't apologize. It just wasn't a good fit. Oh, okay, Sam said. I played the drums for a little bit in church. Maybe we should start a band, Tiffany joked. Nah, I was trash, Sam admitted, and the two laughed. As they shared stories and memories, the miles flew by. It was as if they both had been drowning and words were like air as the conversation flowed. Soon enough, they were driving through the quiet streets of Carlsbad, lined with palm trees and manicured lawns. Here we are, he announced, pulling up to a beautiful 3-story home with a red-tiled roof. The glow from the porch light bathed the driveway in a warm golden hue. Wow, Tiffany breathed, taking it all in. Well, I really appreciate you taking me. Oh, no, it was worth it, Sam replied, turning off the engine. She smiled and unbuckled her seatbelt before opening the car door. The night air was pleasantly cool as it brushed against her face. Tiffany closed the door and began walking toward the front, her heels clicking softly on the stone. The porch light cast intricate shadows through the wrought iron railing, giving the entrance a welcoming glow. "Hey," Sam called out, hesitating as he rolled down the window. Tiffany turned, eyebrows raising in curiosity. "Yeah?" "Oh, Sam stammered, his heart thudding in his chest. "Should I just ask?" he wondered. I just wanted to say good night," he managed, cursing himself internally. "Good night, Sam. It was really nice meeting you," Tiffany replied, her warm smile accentuated by the glow of the light. His fingers drummed nervously on the steering wheel as he watched her reach the front door. The porch light flickered as she paused and glanced back at him before quickly turning back and opening the door. The doorway widened until it stopped and she looked back once more. "Hey, you never gave me your number," she called out. "In case you ever end up out here or anything, you should look me up." Sam blinked, surprised and at first speechless. "Well," she repeated, "it's okay if you don't want to. I mean, I'm not crazy or anything," she joked. "Well, mostly." He felt a spark of excitement as he grinned back and gave it to her. "Got it," Tiffany said, punching the digits into her phone. "Okay, I just texted you. Let me know when you got back safe." "I will," Sam replied. He locked away her number in his contacts list before putting back in Jake's address. "Great," Tiffany responded. "Good night, Sam." "Good night, Tiffany," he replied. She nodded and disappeared through the front door, leaving Sam alone with his thoughts as he watched it close. A few short hours later, the morning light streamed through the curtains, casting a warm glow on Dougie's face as he stirred from his slumber. He groggily rubbed his eyes, disoriented by the unfamiliar surroundings. "Damn," he muttered, sitting up and scanning the room for his scattered belongings. Downstairs, the remaining group members were nursing their own hangovers, sipping water or coffee as they prepared to leave Jake's house. "Y'all want to go get breakfast or something?" Nina asked. "Might as well," Carla said. "It was a really good night." "As long as your boyfriend doesn't find out about it," Eric whispered, making her blush. "Thanks again for taking Tiffany home," Alicia said, massaging Sam's shoulders. He didn't know why, but this made him feel awkward. "I'll go if you go," she bent down and whispered. "Maybe after you can come over and we can watch a movie or something. Just you and me. I don't live that far." "Boy, you better get that," Marcus whispered, joking. As Sam contemplated her suggestion, he got a text message. Back to present day. The car tires crunched on the gravel driveway as the familiar sight of the family's own home came into view. "Dad," Aaron interrupted, "your first date with Mom was at breakfast? I thought you said it was at this fancy restaurant." Sam's pocket vibrated. "Are you close?" Sam's text read. It was his wife, Aaron's mother. "Food's almost ready." "We just pulled up," he replied. "Be in a sec." "Love you, Tiffany," he concluded before placing the device back into his pocket. "It was fancy," Sam resumed, placing a hand on Aaron's back. "And expensive. It's a good thing she paid," he joked. "But you just said," just as me and your uncle were about to leave with our friends, he interrupted. "Your mother texted me asking if I wanted to do brunch." Aaron stared up at his father, confused as ever. "Brunch in Carlsbad." "Well, Oceanside, since that's where her favorite restaurant was. She even paid for the ride there." "You married my mom's, the lame girl, Dad?" Sam laughed before saying, "Well, turns out she wasn't that lame, son. She was actually pretty cool. Needless to say, I spent a lot more time in California than I had planned." Sam and Aaron walked into the large home as Tiffany greeted them at the door. "So, how was the game?" she asked, giving both a hug. "Did you have a good time?" Aaron looked at his mother, then back to Sam before looking back at her again and asking, "Mom, why were you mean to Dad when you first met?" Tiffany looked up at her husband, completely mute, but her face told the whole story.